said Arizona City, Maxon. That was Maxon.
It was Max.
That's what dude said. That's Arizona. Oh, it's Maxon, boy.
Yeah, that's the word he used.
That's it.
But either, like y'all was going in on that. That's why when you kept saying like that, looking at you like, man, what? One of the videos.
Dedication piece. I don't know what that was. Should be simple.
That was tabernacle. Because we were sleeping in tents outside.
Oh my God, that's nice. That's nice right there. Hey, jamming. Oh, got it.
I can't wait.
Shalom, shalom. I'm Commander G. Baker, also known as Francie Izzy.
Shalom, I'm Officer Solomon. We're at the One Nation Israelite School.
And we are
One Nation Israelite School.
Happy New Moon. Just gonna touch a couple scriptures and get back to the party. So we'll be back in a second.
Yes, sir. We burn them. So this ain't no joke.
I was working so much I couldn't even breathe, bro. I was just,
I can't stand
Go ahead. Go. Yes, sir. We are back in the building. We are back. Once again, for those who are tuned in, thanks for watching One Nation Israelite School. If you're here to fellowship in the spirit, I ain't gonna be here long tonight. Just gonna touch a couple scriptures on the new moon. A couple scriptures on the new moon. So with that being said, we're gonna get right into it. We ain't gonna delay too much longer. Give me a second, trying to get this thing loaded up. Much longer. All righty then. So we are officially here. So the new moon. Now, if you want to know what the new moon is, why do we keep it? Are we supposed to keep it? You know, stuff like that. If you're in the nation of Israel, you've been in this thing for over 2 months. By now, you should know that you have to keep the new moon. Not necessarily meaning you may understand what it's fully about, but you pretty much know that the new moon is a very serious day. So with that being said, let's touch some scriptures though. Let's get some scriptures on this new moon thing, so our brothers and sisters can see exactly what it is and how important it is. Okay, so with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and get right into it. We're gonna open up with Psalms 81, verse 3 and 4. Psalms chapter 81, verse 3 and 4.
Psalms chapter 81 and verse 3. Blow up the trumpet in the new moon, in the time appointed, on our solemn feast day.
So we are commanded to blow the trumpet on the new moon. On what? A solemn feast day. Solemn means serious. This is a very serious day to the Most High. This is a day that will get you put to death if you do not keep it. All right, so let's go.
For this was a statute for Israel, and a law of the God of Jacob.
So it is a law for us to blow up the trumpet on the new moon. Now, that's important because anything that is a law, you can find it where? In the first 5 books of the Bible. If it's a law, you should be able to find it in the first 5 books. Why? Because the first 5 books of Moses books, and Moses gave us the laws and commandments from the Most High. Now, the laws and commandments was here before Moses, but we were given those things as a remembrance through Moses. All right, so whenever there's a law, you read something in the New Testament or somewhere in the midst of the books of the Bible, if it's a law, you should be able to find it within the first 5 books. So let's go back and get it. Numbers 10 and 10. Let's go back to Numbers chapter 10, verse 10.
Numbers chapter 10 and verse 10. Also in the day of your gladness, and in your solemn days, and in the beginning of your months, you shall blow with the trumpet over your burnt offering.
Okay, so the new moon is the beginning of all of our months. The new moon is the beginning of our months. We don't go by Esau's calendar where it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then that's it. No, we go off the moon cycle. We go off the moon. The new moon is the beginning of each month for us. So the scripture said to blow up the trumpet in the beginning of our months. Right? So without going any farther into this verse, let's blow up the trumpet and keep the commandment as commanded.
Thank you, Heavenly Father, for letting us see another day, see another night. Thank you for letting us all be alive here in health and well on one of your solemn feast days, the new moon. Thank you for appointing times for us in the times of our captivity and our trouble. We want to say, ask that you may bless the food in the hands of the hands that prepare the food, Father. We want to say that we want to pray for every Israelite amongst the 4 corners of the earth who's scattered out. We want to ask that you bless everyone who's going out there and do your work diligently and keeping your laws and commandments. Bless all those schools, Father God. We also want to ask that you also bless us and help us grow in knowledge. Help us grow as a school. Help us grow in understanding. Continue to keep your heavenly hands amongst us and help us continue to walk in the truth and in the faith, Father. Continue to let us go out there and wake up your lost sheep. Send in more workers to harvest in your field so that we may get out of here when it's time, Father. Please let us be ready for that time. Let us also stay in your laws and commandments fully. And also, Father, we just want to pray for the deliverance from the hands of our enemies, that you come and get us, Father, the ones who's keeping your laws and commandments, and destroy our enemies. Most High, we just want to give all praises and glory to your heavenly holy name and give you thanks in everything that we do. For we're not ourselves, for we are yours, Father. This is your son, Solomon ben Israel, praying and asking of these things of your son, Yahawashi name, Amen, Amen.
He's saying Yahawashi. It's Yahawashi.
I'm gonna keep saying oh man. Yeah, that's all bad, man.
Oh, God. All right. So, we're going to go back to Numbers 10 and 10. Let's finish this scripture. Numbers chapter 10, verse 10.
Also in the day of your gladness and in your solemn days, in the beginnings of your months, you shall blow with the trumpets over your burnt offerings and over the sacrifices of your peace offerings, that they may be to you for a memorial before your God. I am the Lord your God.
So, we are to blow the trumpet over our on the new moons and over our offerings and over our sacrifices, right? Now, we know that we don't sacrifice animals anymore. So, when people say, well, then what do we sacrifice? We sacrifice ourselves, according to Romans 12 and 1. Let's get that. Romans 12 and 1.
Romans chapter 12 and verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service.
Right, okay. So you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto the Most High God. Okay. So now, with that being said, it also said over your peace offerings. Well, once again, we don't sacrifice and offer up animals. So what do we do? Seeing that ourselves are the sacrifice now, we got to take heed. And let's prove that. Let's go to Sirach 35 and 1. Sirach 35 and 1 shows what we do for peace offerings today. Because if you want to try to sacrifice an animal, go ahead. Go ahead. Bet your butt go to jail.
Sirach chapter 35 and verse 1. He that keepeth the law bringeth offerings enough. He that taketh heed to the commandments offereth a peace offering.
So he that keepeth the commandments, that's it. Keeping the commandments is your peace offering. It is, because you keep commandments, you live. You break them, you get your butt put to death. So
simple as that.
It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Now, let's go to Sirach 43 and 6. Let's stay in Sirach while we're here.
Sirach chapter 43 and verse 6. He made the moon also to serve in her season for a declaration of times.
So the moon is a declaration of times. It serves in her seasons. Through the moon, we get our seasons, basically. Come on.
In the sign of the world. From the moon is the sign of feast.
From the moon is the sign of feast. We know that based off of Leviticus 23. Mm-hmm. But also, it's telling you here, it's giving it to you blunt. When the moon is the sign of feast. All right, we know we want to keep Passover, say the new moon. We got new moon, they're 14 days out. Passover.
Yeah.
So the moon gives us our signs and our feast times. Come on.
A light that decreases in her perfection.
A light that decreases in her perfection. Come on.
The month is called after her name.
Read that piece again.
The month is called after her name.
That's where the word month comes from. It's derived from the word moon.
Increasing wonderfully in her changing.
Increasing wonderfully in her changing. So, the way we break down of it, the new moon, you can know it's the new moon when there's no moon in the sky. When it hits full, we halfway through the month.
Yeah.
Then it starts to decrease again. All right. So, I want to touch something too, because some people say, well, the new moon is, how do you put it? When you think about the word new moon, how do you say the new? I don't, when you think about new moon, then they say full moon is the new moon. Well, I don't understand how a full moon could be the new moon and you watch it grow into a full moon.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You watch it grow into a full moon. That's like watching me. You see me go from an infant to an adult. I'm full grown adult now. So how can I be a new adult? When somebody say new moon, you instantly think, okay, when somebody has puppies, they say those are new puppies, newborns. When you have a baby, they say that's a newborn baby.
Yeah.
It starts at nothing to something, and then it grows into an adult. Same thing with the moon. It starts as nothing, and then it grows into a full moon. You know what I'm saying? The new moon is a day that's separated from every other day, right?
Yeah.
It's separated. Well, take this into account. If it's separated from every other day, when you look into the sky on most nights, almost every night of the month, there's some kind of a moon in the sky. It's going through phases, but it's something in the sky. The only time it's something different is when it's not shining. So, to me, it just, when I take those things into consideration, I don't see how the new moon could be a full moon. You know, because anything new, it had to just appear. I can't watch something grow and say it's new. When you think about it, go to Sirach 50. Sirach 50 and 5, because this was a scripture I remember hearing.
Sirach chapter 50 and verse 5. How was he honored in the midst of the people in his coming out of the sanctuary? He was the morning star. He was as the morning star in the midst of a cloud, and as the moon at the full.
So this was talking about Simon. He was saying how he was as glorious at the moon at its full. Here's the point. I don't think people caught that. Did it say as the new moon or the full moon?
The full moon.
So the Bible recognizes the difference between a full moon and a new moon.
Yeah.
Because it just told you he was as glorious as the moon at its full. It just told you what kind of moon it was.
Yeah, it did.
It's a full moon. So it didn't say at the full moon, new moon. It said at the full moon. Right? Now, when I take that into account once again, they didn't just say that he didn't just come out with the glory of the moon as full. He had to get dressed up first. Before he got dressed up, he was naked. And if you want to say that was talking about his honor as in him, he didn't just come out with that honor. He got that honor through his words.
Yeah.
Through wars and tribulation and stuff like that. He became honored as the moon in its full. If I want something to drink, the cup can't be full. It starts out empty and then I fill it up.
Yeah.
And so that's just something I was just thinking about. All right, so let's go to what's some things we can't do. Let's go to Amos 8 and 5.
Amos chapter 8 and verse 5.
Let's get one more scripture about the moon and then we'll go to what we can and can't do. Let's go to Sirach 33, chapter 7. Sirach chapter 33, verse 7 through 9. Let's get one more.
Sirach chapter 33 and verse 7. Why doth one day excel another? when as all the light of every day in the year is of the sun.
So why is one day is still another? Why is one day better than another one? All I'm paraphrasing. I forgot it. Come on.
All right. Why does one day excel another when as all the light of every day in the year is of the sun?
So every day of the year is of the sun with the light, as far as the light, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So someone said, well, how come the sun is bright, the stars are bright, but when it comes to the moon is dark, I would say. Well, everything still works in the same if you really look at it, because the sun normally gives off a whole lot of heat, right?
Yeah.
But in the summer, in the wintertime, the sun is still out, still giving this light, but the heat's not going, right?
Yeah.
All right, so let's say with the moon. The moon is still light, it's just not shining in the night. All right, so why does one day excel another one? I would like to say because the Most High said so. Let's prove that.
By the knowledge of the Lord, they were distinguished.
Meaning he distinguished them, meaning he separated them.
And he altered seasons and feasts. Some of them hath he made high days.
Some of them have he made high days, high holy days, such as the new moon. Come on.
And hallowed them.
And he hallowed them, meaning he made them holy.
And some of them hath he made ordinary days.
And some of them are just ordinary days, like Sunday.
Yeah.
Those are just regular days. So the Most High made a difference between these days. This day is going to be a holy day. This day, those are normal. Then we get back to this point. This is holy day. Rest of them, blame and blame. All right. So with that being said, now let's get into what we can and can't do on the moon. We're going to Amos 8:5.
Amos chapter 8 and verse 5. Say, when will the new moon be gone, that we may sell corn? That we may sell corn Saying, when will the new moon be gone, that we may sell corn, and the Sabbath that we may set forth wheat, making the ephah small and the shekel great, and falsifying the balance by the sea.
So these brothers was out of the spirit. They was like, damn, when will the new moon be gone so we can sell corn? Why? Because there was no such thing as buying or selling on the new moon.
Yeah.
If you came to sell on the new moon, we wouldn't buy it from you. Because what? The Bible says no buying or selling on the new moon. All right. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 23. Leviticus chapter 23. You want to get this. This is just the show. It's the Sabbath.
Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them concerning the feast of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocation. Even these are my feasts. 6 days shall work be done, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of rest and holy convocation. Ye shall do no work therein. It is the Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwellings.
So that lets us know that no matter where we at, even the captivities, wherever you dwell at, it's still the Sabbath to you. Come on.
These are the feasts of the Lord, even holy convocations, which ye shall proclaim in their season.
All right, so everything has a season. And how do we know the seasons? By the moon, like the scriptures told us earlier. Now, it just said that there should be no work done in this day. So are we supposed to work on the new moon? No. Are we in captivity? Some of us just can't get the time. Esau ain't going to allow us to keep it holy. Yes. So we got to do is pray and ask that the Most High have mercy on us. But the new moon, no buying, no selling, no working. Excuse me. We read earlier the over our sacrifices and meat offerings and stuff like that. So that lets you know that you can eat. Plus the scripture said it's a feast day.
Yeah.
So yes, you can cook and you can eat, but there's no buying, no selling, no trading, no working. It is a normal Sabbath. Only difference with this Sabbath is you can cook and you can eat hot food. All right. So now with that, I don't know why I'm feeling. Let's get some history. Let's see if our forefathers kept it. Let's see if our forefathers kept it. Matter of fact, we're in captivity. Let's see, do we have to keep it in this captivity? And will we keep it in the kingdom? And then we'll go into getting a little bit of history. We almost finished, y'all. Like I told you, today's class was going to be brief. All right, so first question, let's get Judges 5:11 to prove that we have to keep it even in our captivity. Because some people, I heard some people saying that we got to keep feast days.
Judges chapter 5 and verse 11. They that are delivered from the noise of archers and the place of drawing water.
Places of drawing water. Places of drawing water. The places of drawing water is representing captivity.
There shall they rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord.
We shall rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord in our captivity. Here in America, where we at, this is our place of drawing water. We're going to rehearse the righteous act here. Some people are in Jamaica.
Yeah.
They have to rehearse the righteous acts there. Some of y'all in Mexico, you got to rehearse the righteous acts there. We don't get a pass. Even in this captivity, we must rehearse the righteous acts. And the righteous acts is the laws, statutes, and commandments. When you add those two together, you kind of tell you the feast days is in there. All right. So is that the end of that?
No. Even the righteous acts towards the inhabitants of his village in Israel. Then shall the people of the Lord go down to the gates. That was it.
Okay. All right. So now we understand that we must keep the righteous acts here. Now, what would be the point of us rehearsing something? The rehearsal means what?
The practice.
You're practicing it. So if you got to practice something, it's obviously telling you that it's going to be a time when you practice for something, you're preparing for a real event.
Yeah.
Just like if you play for a football team, you practice for the game.
Yeah.
We're in this captivity, we're rehearsing the righteous act. We are practicing for the big show. We're rehearsing for the big show. We're rehearsing for the kingdom. And let's prove that even in the kingdom, we will keep these things. And let's show what happens to those who don't keep this thing. Isaiah chapter 66. Isaiah chapter 66, verse 22. Let's start at 22.
Isaiah chapter 66 and verse 22.
Man, boy, you got some fingers on him, man. Go ahead, it seems like I just got done calling it. Come on.
Isaiah chapter 66 and verse 22. For as the new heaven and the new earth, which I will make, shall remain before me, saith the Lord, so shall your seed and your name remain.
So as far as the new heaven and the new earth, which I will make, shall remain before me, saith the Lord, so shall your seed and your name remain. So we know that there's going to be a new heaven coming to us, a new earth, because all this stuff is going to be burnt to pieces. We read that in 2 Peter.
Yeah.
All right. So those things are to come, and guess what? So shall our seed and name. All right. Watch this. Come on. We won't read into it. What's going to happen?
23. And it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith the Lord.
So even in the kingdom, and the new heaven, and in the new earth, it said all flesh from Sabbath to Sabbath, from new moon, from basically all feast days and all these types of things, right? Feast days and Sabbaths. All flesh shall come to worship the Most High, said the Lord.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to worship. We're going to keep these things in the kingdom. That's what we just read.
Yeah.
Watch this. Come on.
And they shall go forth and look upon the carcass of the man that hath transgressed against me.
So we shall go forth and look upon the dead bodies of the people that transgressed, meaning sinned or broke those feast days and stuff like that, right? Come on.
For their worm shall not die.
I mean, like on earth, when people die, maggots start eating at them. But maggots, you just pray them maggots off.
Yeah.
He said these maggots will not die. So these maggots are going to be eating at them forever. Come on.
Neither shall their fire be quenched.
And the fire that's burning them shall never be put out. Come on.
And they shall be an abhorring upon unto all flesh.
It should be abhorring to all flesh.
Yeah. It's not a joke.
Not a joke whatsoever. So what we just went here for was to show that even in the kingdom, we will be keeping the righteous acts. We will be keeping the feast days and the Sabbaths. We will be doing those things even in the kingdom. All right. So now, some people say, well, that's all fine and there. That's good to hear and all. But show me somebody who used to keep the new moon. Show me they keep the new moon. We wouldn't be back if they didn't keep it, but let's get let's get a little history on it anyway. We're gonna go to Samuel. 1 Samuel, chapter 20, verse 5. Now this here is talking about our forefather David.
1 Samuel chapter 20 and verse 5. And David said unto Jonathan, behold, tomorrow is the new moon, and I should not fail to sit with the king at meat. But let me go that I may hide myself in the field until the third day at eve.
So he said, it is the new moon. And I'm not going to be able to eat the king. I need to go hide myself. The history, you got to read it on yourself. But what was going on, Saul, wicked behind, was trying to kill David.
Yeah.
And, David was up on game. You got to remember, David is the man in Israel at this time. So I'm saying, David knew what was going on. He's like, man, I'm going to go hide. I'm saying, I ain't gonna be there. And him and Jonathan was real close, which is Saul's son. Jonathan and David was real close.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he hollering at Jonathan, hey man, I ain't gonna be there, man. I gotta lay low.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what happened. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna jump, like I told you wanna read history by yourself. Jump over to verse 18.
Verse 18. Then Jonathan said to David, tomorrow is the new moon.
Tomorrow is the new moon.
And thou seek shall be missed. And thou shalt be missed because thy seat will be empty.
So it's like, man, tomorrow the moon, you're gonna be missed because your seat is gonna be empty. You gotta remember, David is a man at this time.
Yeah.
David is like one of them brothers. He's like the life of the party. You know what I'm saying? Everybody loved him some David.
Yeah.
David was man. But ain't gonna be missed, man. Your seat gonna be empty, man. And that's another way of us knowing that. Give me Hebrews 10 and 24 real quick. That's why you got to consider your brothers. Don't miss new moons and Sabbaths just because you don't want to go.
Yeah.
Not only is the Most High going to kill you, but consider the brothers that look up to you. Consider the people that, they just love your company. All of us got somebody in this truth that we just saying, man, probably don't feel the same if this brother ain't there.
Yeah.
So you got to consider that.
Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 25. Okay. Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 24. And let us consider one another to provoke unto love and to good works.
So let us consider one another. Consider, dang, what if I miss this new moon? I wonder who I'm like, dang, they wish I was there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And do what?
And to provoke unto love and to good works.
And to provoke unto love. Provoke unto love and good works. Love is keeping the laws and commandments. So you want to provoke brothers to do the good works.
Yeah.
You not showing up. Think about it like this. You officer, right?
Yeah.
You stop coming to new moons. What do you think that teaches to other brothers?
That it's okay to break the new moon.
It's okay to break the new moon. So your job is to be an example. Provoke these brothers under good words. Come on.
Not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together,
Because we are not to forsake the assembling of ourselves together.
as the manner of some is,
Right.
but exhorting one another,
Encouraging one another, that's what that means.
and so much the more, as you see the day approaching.
All right. So now let's go back to verse, what do we leave, 18?
Yeah.
Let's start at 18. Yeah.
Then Jonathan said to David, tomorrow is the new moon, and thou shalt be missed, because thy seat will be empty.
All right. So Now I'm going to jump to verse 24. So that's to show, Jonathan, there's a little history on it, but, also consider your brothers and sisters in everything you do. All right, so now I'm going to jump to verse 24.
Verse 24. So David hid himself in the field, and when the new moon was come, the king sat him down to eat meat. And the king sat upon his seat as at other times, even upon a seat by the wall. And Jonathan arose, and Abner sat by Saul's side, and David's place was empty.
So David didn't show up to the new moon. David's seat was empty.
Nevertheless, Saul spake not anything that day, for he thought something had befallen him. He is not clean. Surely he is not clean.
So Saul was like, David ain't here. He got to be unclean. Something is wrong. Something had to befall him. He unclean because it was very serious. Our people didn't just miss the new moon just to miss it. So for him not to be that, Saul was like, man, he got to be something ain't right. That brother unclean.
Yeah.
All right. That was on the second day, right?
Yeah.
Read again. I missed it. I'm sorry.
So David hid himself in the field. When the new moon was come, the king sat him down to eat meat. And the king sat upon his seat as at other times, even upon the seat by the wall. And Jonathan arose, and Abner sat by Saul's side. And David's place was empty.
So that was the new moon. David was not there. Come on.
Nevertheless, Saul spake not anything that day, for he thought something hath befallen him. He is not clean. Surely he is not clean.
Come on.
And it came to pass on the morrow, which was the second day of the month.
That lets us know that new moon is the second day. The new moon is the first day. Because the first day, Saul said nothing. Then the morrow, which is the next day, which was the second day. Come on.
That David's place was empty. And Saul said unto Jonathan his son, wherefore cometh not the son of Jesse to eat meat, to me, neither yesterday nor today. And Jonathan answered Saul, David earnestly, asked leave for me to go to Bethlehem. And he said, let me go, I pray thee, for our family hath a sacrifice in the city.
All right, so we ain't got to read all. What happened was David didn't show up for the new moon. He went to hide himself. Jonathan knew what was up. He went. He basically covered for his boy. And David didn't show up neither the first day nor the second day. That scripture lets us know that the new moon is the second day, and it's also history. So you can read up on it yourself. Now let's get the last scripture, and then we're going to just close out with Matthew. We're going to go to Nehemiah 13, verse 19. This right here is going to show us that the new moon, like our Sabbaths and all that stuff, new moons and stuff like that, it starts at sundown. And so it starts at sundown. And we're going to read how serious our people was about the new moon.
And it came to pass that when the gates of Jerusalem began to be darkened before the Sabbath, I commanded that the gates should be shut and charged that they should not be open till after the Sabbath. And some of my servants said, I at the gates, that there should no burden be brought in on the Sabbath day. So the merchants and sellers of all kinds of ware lodged without Jerusalem once or twice. Then I testified against them and said unto them, why lodge ye about the walls?
So this is what happened. We locked the gates at sundown so that nobody could come in and tempt us to break the Sabbath or the new moons, right?
Yeah.
These, you know how people is. They standing by the gates trying to with their victuals. So people, basically, they was tempting us.
Yeah.
They coming out there with the stuff that they trying to sell, standing out by the gate. Nehemiah saw me. He said, "Hey man, what you standing by the gate for, man? Watch this, come on."
If you do so again,
so you come back to this gate again with that stuff,
I will lay hands on you.
I'm gonna beat you. That's how serious you were, man. You come back again, I'm gonna put the things on you.
From that time forth came they no more on the Sabbath. They came no more on the Sabbath.
Obviously, they knew we were putting things on. They didn't want to, he was going to put the jumping cables on them. They didn't need no jump, so they didn't come back no more.
Gonna charge them up.
So that's the new moon, all in a nutshell. All right. Let's get Matthew 26.
Matthew chapter 26 and verse 6. Now when Jesus was in Bethany in the house of Simon the leper, there came unto him a woman having an alabaster box of very precious ointment, and poured it on his head as he sat at meat. But when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, to what purpose is this waste? For this ointment might have been sold for much and given to the poor. When Jesus understood it, he said unto them, why trouble you the woman? For she hath wrought a good work upon me. For ye have the poor always with you, but me you have not always. For in that she hath poured this ointment on my body, she did it for my burial. Verily I say unto you, whatsoever that this gospel shall be preached in the whole world, there shall also this that this woman have done be told for a memorial of her.
So wherever we go, we are commanded to bring out what the sister did for Christ, preparing him for his burial. With that, I really can't figure out much more to say about this new moon thing as of right now. That's the new moon, all in a nutshell. Shalom.
Shalom is a feast day. Enjoy yourselves.
Time to feast. Shalom.
Same thing as shalom.
Shalom.